Let me give you a breakdown of the average college lecture. First off, you're gonna have a professor with a super thick accent, but you just gotta power through it because you're paying $20,000 a semester. Eventually you get tired of listening, so you look around the lecture hall at the other students, and like 90% of people are not paying attention. At least 6 or 7 guys in there are gonna be playing poker on their laptop, and a bunch of girls are gonna be online shopping, getting ready for spring break in October. Then there's gonna be 2 or 3 tryhards in that class trying to outdo each other, answering every single question, and you think they're annoying, but also you're grateful that they're there because if they weren't, the class would be dead silent every time the professor asked a question. Eventually you realize that you've zoned out looking at other students for the past 20 minutes and you've missed 50 slides of notes, and now you're basically screwed for the upcoming test. So you decide to cut your losses short, leave the class early, and meet up with your friends at the dining hall to eat the most abysmal food ever conceived by man. While you're in there forcing yourself to eat, yapping about nonsense, you notice a girl who's in a couple of your classes and you make eye contact with her. Now the weird thing is, both of you find each other attractive, but neither of you have the courage to talk to the other person, so for the entire semester you're just going to be awkwardly making eye contact whenever you see each other in class or around campus. Now at least once a week you're going to be up at night thinking about this girl, telling yourself that tomorrow's the day that you go and talk to her, but you don't. You guys proceed to have this weird eye contact dance for the entire semester, and then one of 2 things happens. One, you don't have the balls to talk to her, and she doesn't have the balls either, and then you never see her again after that class, and you're stuck wondering what if. Or 2, you ask her out on the last day of class, and she says, "What took you so long?" And then you proceed to have a couple sloppy hookups before forgetting each other exist. Or maybe something wholesome like you fall in love and get married, but probably not. This is college after all. Speaking of making eye contact with girls, there's a very strange phenomenon that only really happens in college. Have you ever drunkenly made out with someone at a party, and then whenever you see each other on campus, you both pretend like you don't know each other and like the other person doesn't exist? I don't even know you, and I don't think either of us really want to get to know the other person, but we've done this very affectionate thing. I was at a frat party a couple weeks ago, and a girl tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, do you think my friend is cute?" And I look over at her friend and she was super bad. So I was like, "Yes." And then she was like, "Do you want to make out with her?" And I was like, "Yes." So then we did. We made out for like 15 minutes, then went our separate ways, and now I can't stop running into her on campus. We just kind of awkwardly side-eye each other and then look away, and I think we're gonna keep doing that until graduation. But I mean, you really haven't cringed until you've been in a class with a girl that you haven't seen since high school, where you had an awkward relationship for like 3 weeks, and now you gotta pretend like you don't know this person, but we don't need to get into that. I don't know about your college, but at UT Dallas, there's a lot of strange characters. About a week ago, I ran into a friend that I hadn't seen since high school in our business school, and we got to talking about what we've been up to since then. It was a good conversation, a great way to pass the time, but then I hear my friend say, "Oh no." I turn around and there's a guy on all 4s crawling towards us, barking. Yeah, like a dog. Everyone in the vicinity turns and looks at us, and I'm confused on who this is. Eventually, this guy crawls towards us, gets up, steals my friend's phone off of his desk, and then runs away. My friend didn't seem that bothered. I was like, "Bro, he just took your phone." He told me, "Don't worry, he'll be back." Apparently, this doggy guy is known for doing this. Basically, he'll pick a target and then pester them whenever he sees them, and my friend made the mistake of being nice to this guy one time, like 3 years ago, and he's still being haunted by that. Because dog guy thinks they're friends now, but his idea of friendship is crawling towards someone on all 4s, barking at them, and then stealing their property. Eventually, he came back 5 minutes later, returned to my friend's phone, and started asking like really personal, uncomfortable questions. At first, I thought this guy was special needs or something, so I didn't want to judge him too hard, but the longer I observed him, the more I realized that he wasn't special needs, he was just weird as shit. I've been doing my best to avoid that guy and not engage with his conversations because I do not want to be a target of his barking attacks. Speaking of barking, I don't even want to talk about this. There's a non-insignificant population at my university of Furries. Now, for the longest time, I thought this was an urban legend. I had heard that there were furries at my university, but I had never seen any. That was until second semester of my freshman year when I took a night class where at around 10 p.m. as I was leaving my class, I saw a congregation of figures in the distance standing at the center of campus. I couldn't really make out what they were at first, but as I got closer, it became abundantly clear what I was looking at. Standing there were about 50 people wearing full-body fursuits. Yeah, I guess these guys are nocturnal because they definitely came out at night. Then it dawned on me that my university accepted these furries as well as myself. Then I got really depressed when I realized that my university accepted the barking guy as well as me. So technically, we share something in common. And that was a horrifying thought. Speaking of horrifying thoughts, in college you'll meet people of both genders who stack bodies like John Wick. And it's like, I'm not one to judge, like, do you? But also, bro, there's more to life than being Glenn Quagmire. I'm not even gonna lie, I did that entire last segment just so I could make the horrifying thought joke, so hopefully that landed. Honestly, if you're a hoe, I don't really care. Do whatever you want. Just, what's that one Chief Keef song? Love no thoughties. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Nah, but for real, there are a lot of interesting characters on my college campus. We have a lot of squirrels on our campus because there's a lot of trees, and I'll see people around like feeding the squirrels and like talking to them. They're basically like snake charmers, but for squirrels. Like, they'll take a nut out and make the squirrel twirl for a nut. Twirl for a nut is a crazy statement. That's, oh my god. I think another thing that you realize once you get to college is that there's levels to college and that there's levels to life in general. Once you get to college, you'll meet someone who's in better shape than you, you'll meet someone who has better grades than you, you'll meet someone who has more money than you, and at that point, you'll realize that you need to level up every aspect of your life. Whatever they taught you in high school about accept yourself and you're perfect the way you are, nah, get rid of all of that shit immediately. It's go time, bro. It's time to put in the work. I mean, you have less responsibility and more freedom than you ever will have again in your life. So use it. Take the risk, put in the work, and to turn yourself into the person that you've always wanted to become. But most importantly, don't crawl up to people and start barking. That's so weird. I can't believe that guy actually exists. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed this one. I really liked recording it, I'm not gonna lie. Also, I know I always say it, but please follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna start posting there by the end of this month, so let's get those numbers up.